Back when I was 21 years old, I'm walking into work, my first ever shift on my first ever full-time job straight after graduating from university. I went to university for a few years. I studied psychology and I had all these experiences like partying and getting girls and going to the gym and turning up like proper like hungover and sleep deprived in the lectures and falling asleep and then getting more girls and laughing with my friends and everything. And of course that experience has to end at some point. So I ended up graduating with a degree in psychology, and it took me months to be able to get a job. So I was literally so broke before I got this job. I was applying for loads of them on the websites like Indeed, where I'd apply and I'd go to some interviews and then I'd just get kind of rejected, or the place would just be shit. And I was so broke and I really, really needed this job. So I've got like a big smile on my face as I'm walking towards this office, which is like, it's a pretty nice office. It's pretty fancy. It's like bigger than any random little part-time job that I'd worked in beforehand when I was in university. I'm wearing like the whole like cute little uniform, the pants. I've got like proper shoes on, a tie, which, I'm not really used to wearing that kind of stuff. But now that I'm working a job, I'm going to take it more seriously. Get to the office and I ask them like, oh, where's the place I should go to? And they say, okay, it's upstairs, top floor. Your company, the one that you're going to work at, they own that floor of this kind of office complex. Get into the elevator, go upstairs, get there, and then a member of staff actually walks past. They see me and they say, oh, you're Hamza, you're the new guy, you're going to start. Okay, let's go. So they bring me in, and already, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, like, I'm going to be social. I'm going to, socialize, and I'm probably going to end up fucking one of my coworkers. I know people say don't shit where you eat, but I'm going to shit where I fucking eat, right? Because that's the type of guy I am. So I'm like, I'm looking handsome. I'm going to be excited for this. And I also just want to make friends as well. But he brings me to the team, and then like the sort of manager who's going to be looking after me is there, part of this like small team. And she sits me down. Oh, Hamza, okay, nice to see you. Heard good things. Yeah, this is like our space in the office. You'll sit right here. We'll explain the role to you as things go on. Okay, it's like customer service, like complaints department. We get the complaints about our company sometimes, and you'll have to like calm people down and everything. So, I'm thinking, okay, this is like some pretty, it's like interesting work. I'm sure I'm going to get some angry motherfucker, but this is pretty cool. And all of my coworkers are obese. So, not sure I'm going to be fucking any of these people. But I sit down, and they sit me down next to this girl and this other woman. And so I'm making chit chat. And I'm speaking to the girl, speaking to this woman. And I just say the first question that comes into my mind after we do our little introduction. And I say, how long have you been working here? I've got a big smile on my face. And the obese woman, who looks like she's probably in about like late 30s. She's 26. And she tells me, I've been working here for 6 years. And her face goes like this. All of the joy just gets sucked out of me, out of the room, as I see this woman who's just a few years older than I am at this point. And she said that she's worked here for 6 years. And I know that she does the same role as me, and she probably gets paid the same as me. Maybe she's gotten like one promotion. I accepted this job for £17,500 a year. 17, not 70, £17,500 a year. It's like 20% above minimum wage. And as I see the look of like depression in her eyes, that smile and the hype that I had coming into here, like, oh yeah, like I'm young and whatever, okay, I'm gonna like smash one of my coworkers and it's gonna be funny, whatever. It just changes into, oh shit, like this is real life. Like people actually like spend their lives like working like this. Like they actually get stuck like working like a job like this. Like this is literally people's lives. Like this was just going to be like some random fucking job that I just got to make some money whilst I live in the city and I smoke weed and I bang my girlfriend at home and stuff. Yeah, I had a girlfriend as well. Like I'm a young guy, I'm a degenerate. I'm just here to have some fun. And I just get this slap in the face of reality of like, oh no, people literally live like this. Someone who's about 5 years older than me gets paid the same amount as me, has been here for 6 years, gets paid the same as the new guy who's just started. And that look on her face, I will never forget the look on her face where it's kind of like she went like AFK into like sad NPC mode where she was like, 6 years. It's almost like she was shocked when she calculated how long that she had been here. She probably started her first day just like me, smiling, thinking, okay, this is going to be a bit of fun. I hope I make some friends. She probably didn't realize or foresee that she might stay here for 6 years. It's obviously not her dream to work in a complaints department for not far from minimum wage. All the excitement I had for my first ever full-time job, completely gone. The rest of my experience in this job, I'll tell you in like later videos as I tell you more of my story. But it basically encapsulated like what went on here, where how depressing it is to work like some full-time job where your soul and your heart is just not connected in the work that you do and you're just there to make the money. But then when you work so much, you make money to just kind of pay like for your rent, you know, because you've got to live in the city for one of these jobs. You pay the rent, but then you're barely at home, and then you've got the car, but then you're barely being able to drive it for stuff, and then you wake up and you're sleep deprived, and then you commute over to the gym, and then you to the work, sorry, and you commute over there, and then you're depressed all day. All your brain power, all your most valuable creative energy is just put into some company that doesn't even know that you actually exist, for something you actually don't even give a shit about, that doesn't even challenge you or develop the skills that you actually care about, just because you get the wage at the end of the month so that you can survive continuing this depressive existence. I only worked this job for 2 months. I have literally only ever worked a full-time job for 2 months in my entire life. The novelty wore off after like a few days, when the grind and like the mundaneness kicks in. Wake up sleep deprived, turn off the alarm, put the tie up onto my neck like a fucking collar, commute to work in the cold, get there, work the shift, don't give a fuck, walk back to the tram station, get on the tram, commute home, few hours left of the day, sit on the couch, watch TV, eat food, stay up late, go to sleep, wake up, sleep deprived, do it again, and again, and again. Could you imagine that for 6 years straight? 6 years of your life. Losing that childlike excitement. You know, like every year in school, you had like this excitement for like, who am I gonna sit next to? What adventures am I going to have this year? Which girl am I going to have a crush on? And which guy am I going to have a fight with? And you know, all these things, and it just stops. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. I will never forget that woman and that day. I very quickly realized that the path of the low-end career, like the job, which is like customer service and whatever, those are jobs that you might need to take every now and then because you've got some bills and you've got some debt or whatever. But you should never, ever stay in one of those. Some people might say, oh, but you know, at least they're working or something. But okay, congratulations. That's like a 2 out of 10 in ambition. Congratulations. Oh, at least they've got a job. Okay, sure. Okay, yeah. 2 out of 10. It's better than not having a job. Okay, nice. It's like saying like that guy's girlfriend is a 3 out of 10 and she has herpes. But at least he's got a girlfriend. It's like, yeah, okay, fine. At least he's got a girlfriend. But now he's got spots on his dick. Like, but at least they're working a job. Okay, well, they've got a job, but now they're suicidal. It's not like you don't get to like make a cope and say, oh, well, you know, at least they've got a job or whatever. It's not that big of a fucking flex to say, yeah, I've got a fucking minimum wage job that makes me so depressed that even though I make money from it, I basically just want to kill myself. So what's the ROI in the money in a life that I don't even want to live? This is when I started to take internet businesses so much more seriously. Because whilst I was working this job, I started to apply for other jobs. But I was like, wait, it's all going to be kind of the same. Like, unless you can go for like a really top end level career, you know, the type of one that your parents have always tried to push you to, like being a doctor or being like a surgeon or a vet or being like, I don't know, like some fucking lawyer or engineer. Okay, fair enough. You can make pretty decent money, maybe 50K a year, maybe 75K a year. But you're still working a job. You're still working a job, long hours, probably working on projects that you don't actually give a fuck, that you didn't choose yourself. And also, you then have to go and study and get like the degree or whatever for another fucking 4 years, 8 years, whatever, to become eligible for one of those careers. And maybe you just don't want to be a surgeon. Maybe you just don't want to be a lawyer and study like that. And so for me personally, there was no career that I actually really wanted. I just wanted to fucking make money. I just wanted to make money doing something that I felt was purposeful, that I had full control over. So I start trying to become an entrepreneur. Back then, this was like the starting days of like drop shipping and e-commerce and agency. You know, people were just about starting to talk about like making money online. This was like 2019, 2020. And in the end, I settle on becoming a YouTuber. I made my main channel, which has got 2 million subscribers now. And I just posted videos giving life advice to young men, telling them how important it is to get into the gym, to meditate, to stay away from distractions, how to speak to girls, how to become more confident. The lessons that I never received from my own father, who was working jobs. He was just so far, so distant away from the home. He never sat me down and taught me like how to speak to a girl, because he was working as well. I gave this advice just on my YouTube videos. It started doing well. After a year of posting consistently on that first channel I mentioned, I got to about 3,000 subscribers, and I was making about £2,000 a month. Nothing crazy. Look, I won't lie to you and say that I became a millionaire or anything in a year. But I mean, a year to set up a business, which is like really purposeful, really fun, not many work hours, complete control over, you know, what topic you choose. And I was making a full-time wage. In fact, I was actually making a little bit more money than I was in that full-time job that I was probably putting in 10 times more effort into. And I was making more as a YouTuber, just about, it took me probably about 8 to 9 months to make like £1,500, £2,000. That's what I recommend when young people ask me, how can I make money? Like, I understand money's so important. I will fucking kill myself if I have to get some basic ass job, some 9-to-5 job. I will literally kill myself if I have to do that. Hamza, how can I make money? Because I also, if I'm being honest, I'm not very academic. I haven't liked school. I can't imagine getting good grades. There's no career that I can think of. And to them, I always say the same thing. Become an educational content creator. Post content on social media like YouTube videos and Instagram Reels and TikToks. Post content about your journey, teaching other people the things that you've achieved, right? So if you've got some area that you've made progress in, if you're a complete loser, this won't work. But if you've had one area in life that you've made progress, for example, you used to be addicted to porn, but now you're not. You used to have major symptoms of ADHD, like, shitty attention span, but now you don't because you quit scrolling and you also started meditating. You used to be skinny fat, but now you're jacked and you're muscular. You used to be shit and awkward with girls, but now you've got a girlfriend, whatever. As long as you've went through some kind of transformation, like you've basically done something in your life, you've achieved something, you literally record some content teaching people, teaching your younger self how you did it, telling them stories, giving them advice. And then you sell a program, you sell like a course, you sell coaching, you sell a book, you sell even merch. There's tons of things. When you have an audience of people who like you, who appreciate the lessons that they got from your content, they're quite likely to buy things from you when you mention, hey, I made this thing that you might like, top link in the description. Just like I'm going to do for you right now. If you want to become an educational content creator and you want my personal help where I will literally, like, I look at my students' videos and I tell them what to say in the next video, what videos to make next. I literally had a student who I told him a video title I thought would work for him. He got 70,000 views in that video. And he's like a small YouTuber with like 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers. Most of his videos get like 1K views, 2K views. I literally told him what title to have for his next video. He got 70,000 views on it. And now he's been getting a sale of his program like every few days. He makes money online. He's officially an entrepreneur, a person who makes money online through YouTube because he joined the program that I'll link at the top of this description. That is your vehicle out of the necessity of needing to work some shitty 9-to-5 job till the point that you get obese and you look just like that woman who says, 6 years. I don't want you to have to pull that same face. You need to start working now on a business just like this. And my program, I promise you, is like the most helpful thing that I could possibly give you. It's not just like a course where you watch things. You come onto the calls and I will literally help you with your videos. Top link in the description. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.